This call is now being recorded.
Hey, Song Rae.
Hey, something else. How you doing?
Fine. When you call me and the automated system asks me if I want to accept the call, I feel like someone from jail is calling me.
That's funny. You have no idea to collect call from.
I'm like, what number is this? I can't remember. Do I want to accept this? Do I want to put money on someone's book?
No, Lord have mercy.
Don't know. Now, I don't even remember if, I'm sure it's happened in my lifetime, but I don't think it's happened regularly on my lifetime. So I don't know why I'm claiming it in these streets. I don't have that kind of street cred. Anyway, you can start off since we are diametrically opposed about Red Sky. In fact, you might have to provide the synopsis and break out the whole title, because that's how I call it. I call it Red Sky. So,
well, I mean, it goes by both. It goes by Lovers of the Red Sky and Red Sky.
Okay. Well, since you like it and I don't, I'll let you start with your rating.
Not a problem. So this drama
and your takeaway.
Lovers of the Red Sky is about two people who happen to have met as, of course, youth. The tropes. They've met as youth, and they kind of began liking each other. Then they separate for many, many years, and then somehow they wind up back in each other's space again. Fate has led them together. So he is a officer. His name is Hiram, and it's played by An Hyosuk. He's an officer at this part of it's Joseon era. So it's something with the royal family where he works to deal with astronomy, geography, art, divination, and meteorology. And part of this is, why he's so important to the king and to the system. He was not blind as a child, but through some mystical, because this is a fantasy drama, so through some mystical way, he loses his eyesight and he grows up being blind and doing all this work blind. The same time we have Hong Cheong-ki, which is Kim Yoo-jung, and she's a painter. She's a very talented painter. Her father was a talented painter as well, and so she started off blind, and through this same magical force, she gains eyesight, and so she becomes this great painter, and they run into each other for this reason. And as time goes on, we learn about all the other things that are happening because they're dealing with this demonic force that I can't remember what the thing's name was. It's sad, but they're dealing with this force that is coming to their space, and they're trying to get rid of it. They even listed on, what is this page? This is my Asian Wiki. Asian Wiki just listed as a demon. They don't even tell you the name. It had a name though. Can't think of what the name of the thing was though. But at any rate, that's the gist of this drama. You have the prince, the crown. No, he's not the crown prince, but the father is trying to turn him into the crown prince because the crown prince is sick and on his deathbed. He, her, and Haram are all in this love triangle because the prince really likes her and wants to take care of her and, so on and so forth. He and Haram are best friends, and then you have his brother, the prince's brother, who is trying to become the crown prince, and he is working with the demon, trying to take over and do a lot of just crazy things. So it's an interesting story. I like the fantasy portion of it. That's what kept my interest, on top of the fact that I love both of the leads. And not love, because, okay, for Kim Yoo-jung, she was in Backstreet Rookie, so wasn't feeling that drama. However, I like her overall in this show, and I like An Hyosuk. So the two of them together, that was, it was a fun watch. I enjoyed it. If I had to give it a rating, right, I would rate this like a 7.58 out of 10.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you do the number thing, and I tend to do the grade thing. Yeah, I give it a solid 2 because it didn't feel layered enough. So I'm going to preface by saying that I watch historical dramas, but it's not my favorite genre of show. But every once in a while, like every other year, one will drop in or something. If it stands out enough, or I'm bored enough, or someone talks it up enough. So that's what happened with Red Sky. y'all were talking it up, in love with it, like raving about it. Oh my God, oh, it's so wonderful. And I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. And so I think there was something, like, to understand where I come from with these dramas, you have to understand that I like shows like Faith that had that time travel element with Lee Min-ho. I like Sung Ki Kwan Scandal, where she has to pretend to be a boy to go to university so that she could help her sick brother or whatever. It was done, the lead in
I know who it is. I started it. I just didn't finish it.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that was a long time ago. I watched it. I watched it then. So it's not like I'm a traditional historical drama person who's like, it has to be historically accurate. Like, I don't mind a fantasy. I don't mind if, there's some comedy involved. I would say my favorite historical drama is Dung Yi, otherwise known as Jewel in the Crown, because that was like old school 60 episodes. Like, I watched every bit of that. And so much so that I still remember her saying Laudet constantly. Like, I know the word for sir in Joseon because she said it so much. I love that drama. And so I had to add context to, okay, am I just not the audience for this? And that can very well be true. Like, you watch way more historical dramas, so this may have touched something in your spirit that was just never going to touch me. But also, the thing I liked about her was that she was feisty. I liked that no one was getting over on her. I liked that she was like, oh, you want to test me? Okay, I'm going to put my hand down. Go on and test me. Like, I love that about her. But then it just felt like everything in the story was, there was no mystery. You knew who the bad guys were. You knew exactly what was going on. It was just like a matter of time. And by the time I got to like episode 8 and they actually full on kissed, I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. Like, I like it. It's okay, but I'm not going to watch it anymore. And so then I skipped to the end. And this is where I would say spoiler, unless you have something more to say before we start spoiling the heck out of it.
Go right ahead.
So when I got to episode 8, I don't know what the thing was other than like the kiss. I was just like, I'm good. It's okay. And then when I got to the end, I watched the whole final episode, and I actually would watch, like, I feel like they were building up a sequel, and I'm looking forward to that. But it's just like I was not interested in this one. Like, it just did not strike me like that. But I want to see if the prince has his own love story, because I liked him. I like that he didn't come off being like all bitter and hateful because he wasn't chosen. I think there's a trend towards that in various dramas. For example, Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, the secondary lead, when he wasn't picked, he didn't freak out and like want to, get revenge and do all this over the top stuff. He was just like, I'll take the L and hope something better is out there for me. And it was the same thing with the prince. So I was like, okay, so I like you. You stand up. I'll watch a second season if you in it. If you're the lead now in that, because the way it ended, I was like, yeah, he wasn't petty. He showed up for I think it was their anniversary. He was like, you got to come back. He was cool. So I was like, okay, whenever y'all do a second season, count me in. But what do you think?
So I like the drama because I enjoyed their getting to know each other as children, and the fact that, like, I think the first 2 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, they were totally kids. They weren't adults. No, I'm mixing dramas. So even though they did spend a good portion of time, though, fleshing out their youth and them being together, how they knew each other, their fathers were friends. So, like, all of that helped to draw me into this as well, because I hate when they start you off in it and then it's almost like a afterthought that, oh, yeah, let's say they met as friends. That annoys me. At least show us all that up front so we don't have to go backwards and figure stuff out. But I appreciated that part of it. I liked the two main characters and their chemistry. They had good chemistry together.
He was fine.
I love,
He was fine.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah. Red eyes and all. I was like, dude, okay, that should detract. But it's not taken away the way I thought it would. Okay.
Right. But I also enjoyed the fact that as we were dealing with the mystic portion of it, because I think that's what kept me. So the mystic portion of it and how all of these different elements played into them trying to get together and why they were having all these issues as they are trying to get together. And I think that's what was my draw. Not even so much that I was looking for it to be some kind of mystery of some sort, but that they had to come through the lady god Samson helping them, and then having the tiger god in the palace who was helping them, and then them also dealing with the fact that the demon thing was trying to get his eyes back from her, because it really, from what I shared with you all earlier, the god Samson took his eyes when the demon took over him and put them in the girl and took her blindness and gave it to him. And so that's how that happened. They had that switcheroo go down. And so the whole time he's steady looking for his eyes from her because old boy is blind. And dealing with that, dealing with the people, some people completely, totally understanding that there's a supernatural force happening, while others are completely oblivious to the supernatural force happening. And so they're trying to function from, normal standpoint and figuring it out. So I don't know. It was all of those things together. Plus I liked the king. The king was cool king. All of those forces together just made this, really interesting to me and want to see what's going on. How did it happen? Who did what? And I really love that. No, we didn't have the wedding and all of that stuff, but they just took us straight into their married life. Like we see them with her with kid, them having their anniversary, their home life. So I enjoy all of that. I thought it was really good.
Right, and you know what, just to speak to the friends, one of the things I did appreciate also was that when his brother came to him, like, hey, I need you to, come to the dark side and betray our brother, the heir apparent. He was like, nope. He's like, sorry, can't help you. I was like, oh, okay, no.
And I think, too, because that prince had seen his brother as a child be too inquisitive and too interested in darkness. Because as soon as he saw the painting, it started calling out to him, and that's how it even got out. How the thing got out the painting was because his busy butt was in there being nosy. It started calling him, and he ran to it. It struck him, and that was the part. Now, that's something for me they could have done some explaining on. The demon thing came out of the painting, struck him, but then went on to the boy. I didn't understand that. Why not go into him? He was a willing vessel.
You know what? I only watched 8 episodes. Because something about it made sense to me. The demon thing doesn't correlate, and maybe I'm getting that wrong, of course, because him going blind was like he was a sacrificial lamb. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't the demon was going into him, because the demon was supposed to go into the painting, right? He was supposed to stay in the painting. And even though they're playing that game, I didn't think I thought the demon was like riding him, but literally like through the butterfly on his neck. But the butterfly on his neck was protection.
The butterfly on his neck was protection by the Samson god because the demon was inside of him. So that butterfly kept it inside, and then when she touched him, she was the activating force because she was his eyes. He wanted his eyes, and so when she touched him, that brought the demon loose because, oh, hell, wait, my eyes are right here. Let me grab them.
Okay. Yeah, and you can see, this is not my drama. if you're looking, folks listening, if y'all are looking for some understanding, I'm not the one. Like, you need to listen to Rae and watch the stuff and the comment. Like we always say, comment and give your point of view and break it down to us. But yeah,
and especially if you watch, we would love to know your thoughts too.
Right, and there are people who
happens to be one of many that something else and I, we don't always agree, which is fine. Somebody asked yesterday, what are you all recording next? And I'm like, oh, we got plenty of dramas that we're watching, and I believe we're even watching some of the same things, but then we wait and kind of hold off on conversations so that we can have good ones with you guys and share how we feel about it. So, like, we haven't talked about this in previous other than to say, did you watch it? How'd you feel about it? I ain't like it. Oh, I loved it. Oh, we got to record this.
Right.
So that's as far as we go.
And we talk about all kinds of things. We talk about things that have nothing to do with Black Girl Soul and television we watch, like we talked about other topics in life. And sometimes we like verge into the dramas and then we realize, oh snap, we're having whole full on like episodes talking about these dramas. So in a rare twist, when we could feel ourselves starting to have those conversations, I straight up cut Sung Rae off. I was like, nope, we're not gonna talk about it. She was like, but I was like, nope, we gonna wait because I knew I knew I didn't have a lot to say about it. Like I told her from get go, I was like, I only watched 8 episodes. Look, I'm not all I can tell you is that I ain't like it like all that. but that's part of the reason why we waited. And you know, I'm gonna say this, and then you can close us out for this one unless you have more to say. Because I'm still trying to add context to like what kind of historical dramas do I like. I'm watching Red Sleeves.
Man, I am loving that. Are you?
I'm enjoying that. Right. I enjoy Red Sleeves.
Okay.
So I think I enjoy Red Sleeves because I don't know how.
Well, let's not talk about it because if you're watching, I'm watching. This is definitely a show. But I am going to caveat and say a lot of people are also watching the King's Affection and liking it. I'm not feeling the King's Affection. Like I stopped.
In there.
I was, because I like Ruan, so I wanted to see it, but I stopped and I was like, hey, well, maybe when I get a break, I'll try and like do some binging and catch up some more. But thus far, I just was not really catching on to Lord Red Sleeve. I wasn't really catching on to the King's Affection, and I planned to watch the King's Affection. I had no plans to watch Red Sleeve. Red Sleeve was just I kept seeing it bounce around on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, so I was like, let me just check it out. And once I started, I was like, oh my gosh, I like this.
Right. Red Sleeve, I think the thing that got me first and foremost was like that she's so, like she's intellectual, if you will. And she's
getting ready to start talking about it. Let's hold it. We're going to save it. We're going to record on that.
Right. So wrong. But you know what? I'm pulling up King's Affection because I'm trying to understand what it was about it that just made me go, oh, nope. And I swear I want to say that it was as early as just reading the synopsis. And I was
it because she's a female playing the king, the prince?
Maybe, and you know what it is also? I think I read some comment, I don't know if it was you who said it, but I read some comment somewhere where they were complaining about the fact that all the men around her, because it's kind of like a reverse harem, were all catering to this king in a way where it's like it seemed like they were catering to the king as a female and not a male.
Exactly, and that was my take and what threw me all the way off. Like, I'm not feeling this because if she's supposed to be a man, these men around her would not be acting like this. Why are they acting like this? Because now you're making this, is this a boy love drama? What are we doing? So that's what's been throwing me off and why I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to sit down, like give it some time, watch it fully, you know, so I can get some better understanding. Otherwise, I'm going to have to drop it and be done.
Right. And not like there's a problem with it being a boy love drama if it is.
No.
It is. But I think
that's what I'm saying. I want them to be specific. I don't like the feeling like they're going in between. Like, what are we doing? Is this where we're going or is this where we're going? What are we doing?
Right. There was something about it. I think even before me, some of it is just the genre itself. Like I've told y'all from the front end of this episode, it's not my favorite genre. So it's like you pretty much have to be doing something extra stellar or maybe like, I don't know how my brain works when it comes to historical dramas. I don't know. I could tell you that I can't do the Chinese ones. I can't do the Taiwanese ones. I can't do anything.
Man, I tried to watch a Chinese one and it was so, I was like, oh God, nope, I can't. I tried. Gotta let it go.
Right. Those, to me, the folks who are fans of those are ride or die. They're hardcore. I salute you. It's not because they're wearing robes or, you know, like some people will be trifling if they dresses or anything like that.
I
love
the
long hair. It's none of that. I don't care about that. It's because they're too pretty in the face. Like,
I don't even care about that.
Yeah, I'm just, no. because I feel like there's this place where it's Justin Bieber and not The Rock. I like The Rock.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like, if The Rock is wearing a flowing dress or robe and he's like got long hair, I'm watching it because he got some too. I completely get if that is somebody's type, it's just not my type. But if anyone understands, then please speak to it. Otherwise, I'm just going to stop digging this hole. Anything else, Rae?
I was going to say, let's just let this all go.
Right.
Because I feel like, again, everybody has different types. We all like different things. So, like, a prime example, I don't know if you guys have paid attention, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, I posted pictures of this, I'm Song Rae. I posted pictures of Jung Hae-in's brother. And so we had a whole conversation. She was like, we should have recorded this. Like, nah, this was not recordable. But at any rate, we just went into talking about, what he looked like, whether or not he was cute or not. And her whole take was, I'm sorry, from the neck down, yeah, he's fine. So on Facebook, she said that because I don't think she shared it in any other forum. But from the neck down, he's okay. But the face, he's just too young. And so I'm like, honestly, I didn't even pay attention to the face being young, older. Like, I wasn't thinking about that. Just the body was nice. So I couldn't help myself, had to share.
Right. And I got where she was coming from. But I was just like, the minute you looked at his face, you saw a baby face. And I was like, no.
But at the end of the day, I think the gist and why I even pointed that out was to say we all have varying types. We all have different things that we like, that we're interested in, and that drive us or spark our interest in. So it is what it is, and I think that's part of why I think the K-drama world and Asian drama world is so awesome, is that it's so wide and there is no one type and there is no one way everything has to be done. What floats your boat doesn't float somebody else's boat. It is what it is. And I think it's okay to be able to discuss and talk about it without, one, being rude and disrespectful, or two, coming for folks. So you don't like something I don't like, okay, great. Let's talk about why, and then we go on about our business. Okay, I understand her perspective. Maybe she understood mine, and we keep it moving. But, I think that was one of the reasons we definitely wanted to record this, too, was just to share. It is okay to dislike something somebody else likes, or to like something somebody doesn't like. It's life.
It is. I mean, I'll always respect the passion that someone, by which someone enjoys, like, whatever it is. Like, even if I don't understand it, I'm going to be, like, writing for you to be passionate about something in life and what you enjoy. So I'm like, if that floats your boat all the way, I'm like, hey, let me see if there's some other ones that you might be interested in. Like, for example, we're always trying to indoctrinate new people. If one of our cousins, friends, whomever is like, hey, I like this type of drama, I'd be like, okay, you know what? Have you heard of this and this and this? It's not for me, but I want it for you because I see that it's what you enjoy and what you're passionate about. So, and that, is what we're doing, right? We're exploring the thing that we're passionate about, and we don't want to, take that away from anyone else. So, that is the end of this episode, unless you have something else to add, Rae?
Oh, no, I do not. But thank you for this discussion, and look forward to our next.
Okay. Well, this is Something Else, and
Song Rae.
Have a good one.
Bye.